You're probably overthinking this video right now. Should you watch it? Will it be worth your time? What if there are better videos on overthinking? See what I just did there? Here's the thing about overthinking that nobody talks about. It's not actually about thinking too much. It's about thinking the same thoughts over and over without getting anywhere. And today, I'm going to show you why the common advice about overthinking is completely backwards. Before we dive in, let me ask you something. When was the last time someone told you to just stop overthinking? How did that work out? Yeah, about as well as telling someone who's drowning to just swim, right? Here's what's actually happening in your brain when you overthink. Think of your mind like a browser with too many tabs open. Each tab is consuming energy, slowing everything down, but you're afraid to close any of them because what if you need that information later? But here's the dark reality nobody's talking about. Overthinking isn't a personality flaw. It's actually a misguided superpower. Your brain is trying to protect you by considering every possible outcome. The problem isn't that you think too much. It's that you're using this power against yourself. We're going to break this down into 3 parts. 1. Why traditional anti-overthinking advice makes things worse. 2. The surprising advantage overthinkers have when they know how to use it. And 3. The 1-minute rule that changes everything. Let's talk about why telling yourself to stop overthinking is like trying to fall asleep by repeatedly thinking, fall asleep, fall asleep. It just doesn't work. Here's why. First, traditional advice assumes overthinking is a bad habit you can just break, but your brain is actually doing exactly what it evolved to do, trying to protect you by analyzing threats. The problem isn't the analysis, it's that we're applying cave person survival instincts to modern problems like whether your coworker's emoji meant they're mad at you. Studies show that trying to suppress thoughts actually makes them stronger. It's called the white bear effect. The more you try not to think about something, the more you'll think about it. So every time someone tells you to just stop overthinking, they're actually making it worse. Now for the good news, and this is where it gets interesting. Overthinkers have an incredible superpower that most people miss completely. You know that ability to consider every possible outcome? That same trait is shared by some of the world's most successful problem solvers, innovators, and leaders. Take Jane Goodall, for instance. Her remarkable observations of chimpanzees came from her ability to notice and analyze the tiniest details that others missed completely. Her overthinking of every small behavior led to groundbreaking discoveries in animal behavior. Or consider Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, who spent 2 years thinking through every possible way her product could fail, and then solving each problem before it happened. That's the overthinker's advantage in action. The key difference: successful overthinkers have learned to direct this power outward instead of inward. They use it to solve real problems instead of creating imaginary ones. This brings us to the game-changing approach I call the 1-minute rule. Here's how it works. This is my personal favorite. Whenever you find yourself stuck obsessing over details, maybe it's a text you want to send or an email you're too nervous to write, set a timer for 60 seconds. Tell yourself, I have 1 minute to make a move. It might sound silly, but there's something about having a small, clear deadline that pushes you into action. Once you take that tiny step, the mental resistance fades, and you're no longer frozen by your thoughts. Give it a shot. So here's the real truth about overthinking. It's not your enemy. It's like having a supercomputer that gets stuck on a task from time to time. Your brain isn't broken by any means, but now you have a quick way to end the task so you can move on. If this resonated with you, share your biggest overthinking moment in the comments below. Trust me, we've all been there, and sometimes just knowing you're not alone in this can make all the difference. Hit subscribe if you want more content that turns mental challenges into superpowers. And hey, if you're still thinking about whether you should have watched this video, that's exactly why you needed to watch it. See you in the next one.